welcome to my channel. Firstly, apologies for it being a while since I have posted anything up. I have been scrapping, I've just not had a chance to get any voiceovers done. So I'm on a little bit of a mini catch up, so soon you'll be sick of seeing videos. But this first one I am using my Like Forever June kit. I did start this layout at a friend's and got as far as cutting the top piece of paper, and then decided that I did want to print out a poem to go with the layout. So everything got put on hold, we chatted instead, and I carried on at home. So I'm doing there's a few layouts done with this kit that are pictures of some of my children with their nana. We did unfortunately lose her a couple of months ago, but I wanted to make sure that there was layouts in the album of them and their nan. So I've got the piece of paper, as I say, that I had cut, trimmed off at the top, and I was determined to do a layout with this kit that could be seen as quite girly, definitely using at least one with my son. So I went down the black and white route, which always works no matter who you're doing it with. So I got the black and white pieces, bits and pieces that came with the kit, bits that I added in from the kit, and I had the idea of the triangle up in the top, and I had the nana, which fit lovely down the side of the photo, and then I printed the poem and cut that into blocks. Apart from that, I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, as you can tell by the amount of times that things move about. So they're cut into different verses, and I decided to ink around the edges of those just to define them a little bit more. And then I wanted just a little bit of embellishment side to side, wasn't sure what. Then I pulled out the washi strips from the I Am collection that I'd pulled in from my stash, and liked the way that those gave sort of a shelf for each of the verses to sit on. It's probably the best way to work it. So I've laid those underneath. Luckily, with it being washi, it's very forgiving because they will all move over so that it's all a little bit closer together than it was before. And a couple may get moved when I realise that they're not strict. But anywho, so it's quite a simple layout, this one, in the grand scheme of things, for the amount that I did mess about. So I'm also using these little epoxy things that I made. I used, I think it was a Kaiser paper pad, and their paper pads come in 6.5 by 6.5, just so that you can map them. But one of them was full of lots of little circles with words and phrases, and they're all 1 inch. So I punched them out using my 1-inch punch, and then put a little epoxy dot over the top, and that gives me a little embellishment straight away. So that was one of the things I pulled from my stash. Now I did go into my stash box, but that was just to pull out some black and white labels. So you'll find in each sort of cluster there's a scattering of clusters going down, but there's 3 labels in the end that will go down. You know, all the washies sat on a little line. I did think at one point as well about adding a pop of colour in, but I didn't find anything that sort of worked and screamed at me, so I decided to just stay with the black and white. So there's just things tucked in where the words are, little clusters. I did pull out the little washi dots just to spread the washi tape colours about a bit. And then from my kit I did also pull in the illustrated faith black hearts, and they scattered around the embellishments as well, in with those little dots, which I think I did only use the cream ones. So there's a touch of black, white and cream, and tucked a little bit more underneath at the top, and pretty much that is how the layout will end up. I do end up trying to bring in that black frame, but found it was just a bit too harsh. It wasn't really working for this layout. I did go through and check all my black and white embellishment pieces. I also really wanted to use those wooden words, but I couldn't get those to work either. I tried lining the edge. I knew there was something missing on this layout but wasn't quite sure. So I tried the washi strips down the side and that didn't work, so off they came. So I pulled them all off again. And I think it's at this point that I realised, yeah, this is it. So I realised I just wanted something in the bottom right hand corner just to mirror the other part of the triangle. So it does end up being quite a small little triangle, but I find that it works. So I'm just going to trim that down after I've checked it 3 times that it's what I want to do before I actually cut the paper, but that's normal. And then when I did draw the line around the page, I did leave a gap at the top where the triangle started, so of course I had to fill that in because I was now filling it in. So I'll pop the labels away, and again I'm just trying with these wood words, but find with everything being black, white and cream, these wooden words just aren't working on this layout. And there we go, there's my layout. Thank you for joining me, and I will bring you more layouts soon.